Watch this video, then we'll talk.
Who are you spending eternity with if you had to choose between all of your best friends and romantic love? You could only pick one. You are in love, a healthy, happy relationship. Picture that, okay? And then on the other hand, you have all of your best friends, all of your female best friends, your friendships that have kept you alive your whole life. And anyway, what would you pick? Because I was explaining the premise of the Eternity movie to the guy that I'm seeing, and he said, oh, who would you spend eternity with? It would probably be Brie, one of my best friends. And I laughed and was like, yeah, of course I would. But then it got me thinking, what if you could only pick one? You let's say we die, we walk into an afterlife situation, and it's like, yep, you go left and you can be with the love of your life that you're in a happy, healthy relationship with, or you can go this way and you can be with your, like, all of your girlfriends. Which one would you pick? I think those are the loves of my life, you know? So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around any other option, but I'm curious. I'm curious what everybody would do now.
So I'm going to show you guys a couple of slides from the Substack called Matter by Matter. I'll include the link to this below. But this specific post series, I think, is so interesting as it relates to this topic of, like, who are you going to choose between, like, your man and your best friends that have been with you through, like, forever and always. The romance doesn't sell, friendship does. For brands marketing to Gen Z, platonic love is now aspirational. Now, this series, this photo series talks about the focus on friendship through more of a branding, marketing, business lens, trying to teach businesses how to bring in a certain kind of audience. And this is focused on Gen Z, but I don't think that this is Gen Z specific, nor do I think that this is business specific. Now, historically, most of these, when people are trying to like sell you something, market you something, it has, at least in US history, it has been, the primary means has been based off of a manufactured insecurity to then sell you something. You think about how razors were eventually marketed to women because the insecurity about women having hair, which, like, women have always had hair, women are people, but now, oh, we've created insecurity, now we're going to market this. When it comes to black hair and all of the, when you think about perms, when you think about, like, the Tygon laws and, like, hiding our hair, straightening our hair, the insecurities of curly hair, coily hair, of diverse non-white hair, and the history of slavery, which then would have obviously created generational insecurities, and saying, oh, here's this product to fix this insecurity that we've created. I think that this has been inverted at this point. Now society and branding, another baby outside, 1 second. All right, we're pushing forward. Now society, which also includes the marketers, are trying to catch up with the cataclysmic social shifts away from capitalism. Now it's not, oh, we've created an insecurity that we need to market and monopolize. Now it's people are trying to break away from this, get back to matriarchal living, community living, anti-capitalist living, definitely within younger generations and other generations also. Now we need to catch up. So how do we put so much into making women want to get married. We have a whole businesses, we have editorial, we have all this. Now it's getting shifted on its head. How do we catch up? I find this fascinating, especially from within the travel sector. Vacations to destination weddings, and all the people, destinations are trying to understand this shift and switch their marketing also. So let's break down some of these stats and dive into what it looks like statistically to focus on friendship, and why statistically even brands are trying to be like, okay, well, I guess men are embarrassing. I guess romance isn't the gym jam anymore. 58% of singles 13 to 39 years old agree that romantic relationships aren't my priority right now. Romance is no longer an emotional and cultural marketing juggernaut. Now, I want us to focus very briefly on this age range. One, I'm happy that they did not refer to 13-year-olds as women because trying to market 15-year-olds as women is creepy. But the teenagers to the 39-year-olds. And like, this is very much talking about women here. So the teenage, think about like teenage rom-coms, think about all of the, like the teenage heartthrob, like that iconic phrase. There's so much money and attention being pushed historically towards young girls to get them to be obsessed with this idea of my Prince Charming and the love of my life, and then you have all the way up to 39. Now 39, generally by like 39, 40, that's truly like by 30, you are getting pushed this old hag narrative. You are getting pushed as the cat lady. Like you are trying, like media has historically tried to shame women into wanting to prioritize relationships. But now over 50% are saying, I literally could not care less. Heterofatalism. I kept telling myself to do a video on this and I kept forgetting. If you guys are really interested in it, let me know, but I keep forgetting. Heterofatalism, the view that heterosexual dating is embarrassing, hopeless, and imprisoning, is gathering ground in culture as the de facto attitude towards romance. And I'm going to speak for myself on this. The amount of times when like I have an increasingly queer community that I am really diving into here in Thailand, and even before here in Thailand, like I love having a very diverse friend group. And you know, sometimes people talk about like, ooh, who you dating, who you seeing, what are you into, da 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 da. And I have consistently, long before this article came out, would start off by saying, I'm sorry, I'm straight. Like I'm sorry. It's the one thing I hate about myself. And I know I'm not the only person. I know I'm not the only woman in femme that feels that way and says this often. Also, the amount of women that are regularly saying, oh, I know that sexuality isn't a choice because if I could choose to not be attracted to men, like schmexually attracted to men. It's like, I take it up. I take it up any second. There's also another video that I really want to make, and I'm saying it here so I could hold myself accountable, about the evolution, what I believe is the evolution away into asexuality that I think that a lot of women are experiencing. And like asexuality is a spectrum, but that's a whole other video that I am excited to make. I will make it right after this one, and I would love to know your thoughts on it. Next, only 38% of single women are on the dating market compared to 61% of single men. It's not just that women don't care to be on dating apps or to be in the dating market so much anymore. It's also very much a safety issue. The amount of women that have been murdered, assaulted, and that's even on the more extreme side, but the amount of women that have been gaslit, that have been manipulated, that have been put in uncomfortable situations, that have had the unfortunate displeasure of having to talk to a man who could not care less about them. Yeah, and honestly, I believe that number is lower. I think the only reason why that number is that high is because on the dating market does not specifically talk about like dating apps. I am assuming that this number also includes people being like, oh, okay, like I'm open. Like it's okay. Like I'm down. Like they're not the people screaming on the floor of Wall Street trying to like smack somebody to like hand in a paper. I don't know how Wall Street works, but they're like a couple people standing all the way in the back with a cigarette being like, well, I'm in the room. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of those numbers are. Marriage rates are nearing an all-time low in Europe and the United States. In China, there was a 20% drop in marriage registrations between 2023 and 2024, the steepest decline ever. Well, yeah, because it's not just that the marketing for marriage is bad and the marketing for romance, air quotes, is bad, but the reality of it is not even matching the marketing. Like the product is not, it's like you order some juice and then you get it and it's an empty bottle and you're like, wait, this ain't right. And they're like, oh no, this is what it is. The picture had a full thing of juice. Oh, well, we've never actually sent a, you're lucky if you get a full thing of juice. Am I right? And then you go in for a high five. And then now they're upset that you're not giving them a high five. And then they tell you you should smile more. Continuing on, 40% of conservative women in the US ages 18 to 35 do not have children, compared to 75% of liberal women. Make America hot again movements are gathering traction, but this community has lower levels of discretionary income. 2 out of 3 voters without college degrees voted for Donald Trump. Wasn't it Donald Trump that said that stupid people love him? And it's real hard to have discretionary income if you're stupid. 66% versus 52%. That correlates to 66% of young people who want to find new friends, compared to 52% of young people who have not made a new friend in the last year. Bumble. Now, I'm assuming that this is more specifically Bumble BFF, which, for what I understand, has been consistently marketed as a platform for women to find friends with other women. So that 66%, compare that to the 50-something percent of people that are like, actually, I'm not even interested in being in a romantic relationship, as compared to people who want to find new friends. The interests are changing. The pendulum is swinging. It could swing further, but we're working on it. Bumble's even out here making a completely different platform, 100% dedicated to friendship. That's how much money people are now investing into friendship. And this, I think, is the biggest indicator to me of how far the pendulum has swung. Thinking about what marketing campaigns look like, thinking about what the billboards, what the posters, what the social media platforms that are actually selling products are doing. Even in industries once hyper reliant on sex to sell, recent ads for Glossier U, Marc Jacobs, Daisy Center friends sharing perfume with each other, answering a more pressing social desire than a seduction tool. This, to me, also indicates that people are finally realizing that to get a long-term dedicated core group of buyers to something, you can't center the male gaze. You can't, you isolate women by doing that. And when women commit, we commit wholeheartedly. We are actually ride or die. In when it comes to the brands and the companies and the people that we rep, as opposed to men, we see how men run the moment that danger is afoot. Is that going to be another video that I make? Probably. Because the amount of nonsense that I've seen of men abandoning women in their time of need, especially these super privileged ones abandoning. But seeing this shift is so encouraging for me. Not just for, forget the companies for a second. Hold on. Forget the companies for a second. Also, there's a baby back there screaming somewhere. Listen, love other people's babies. There's so many reasons I'm not having kids. But even beyond the idea of, oh, it's nice to see ads or marketing that are reflective of things that I care about, of communities that I'm interested in being a part of, I am more for the people that are having kids out there, for the young folks that are out there. I'm a mentor to a few. I haven't reached out to my babies in a while. I'll reach out to the, oh my gosh, it's a holiday season and it's also college season. They're all stressed. Anyway, being in a space where people can see genuine friendships and not body parts, especially young women and femmes, little girls and femmes and all that, seeing you being represented and your friend group being represented as a group of people that people want to participate with, that people think are beautiful, that people are showcasing, as opposed to your body parts, your legs, your boobs, and not even your legs and boobs, generally white legs and boobs, or particularly pale legs and boobs, and parts. There's a shift away from that, and it's exciting. And I think this kind of shift, it's going to take a lot to swing back in the other direction, especially money-wise, especially because now more women are more financially successful than men are. So it's going to be real hard to be like, no, ladies, don't you want to buy this thing. We've marketed it as all of your holes. I can't stand me. Okay. So let me know your thoughts on this. Stay safe out there. Stay sane out there. And if you need resources, description. All right. That's all for now. Bye.